So here we have one of our great BioSpirit uh, foods slash medicine plants, the rosa. We have Nootka roses here, some woodsy roses mixed in here too. These are the rose hips. These are the fruits of the rose, and they are very high in all types of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, quercetin. Alone or mixed in formulas, this is an especially a nutritive plant for any type of condition, really. They've been gathered for all over the world for thousands of years. People have used these plants, these rose hips, and a good way to use them, they are red right now in this area at this elevation. We almost had a frost last night, so what you can do is take them, ripen them a bit, and then freeze them. And that seems to sweeten up, increase the sugar a little bit once they thaw out. You can mix them in vinegar, slice them, get rid of some of the seeds, and mix them in vinegar. Makes an excellent formula with elderberry or separately for all types of conditions in the body. Arthritis, inflammation, any type of autoimmune disorder where there's some sort of confusion between self and other is how I understand that. So the body is not sure what it is and what the outside is. There seems to be a question of identity, and you get this again and again in health, identity and identity politics almost, because the body with our modern lifestyle is very confused as to what it is and what it is not. So the parts of self that are part of the body, there's a confusion, and this is manifested in a lot of ways. You have people that are in all types of distress because their body cannot determine what it is and what it is not. Identity, who they are at a basic racial, bio-spiritual level, they cannot access that. They have been denied through the schools, they've been denied through the educational process, and they can't say who they are publicly. They can't say, this is who I am, this is what I am. There's so much should be, should not be. And this type of confusion comes into the body in the terms of the body cannot determine what it is and what it is not. This is a common problem for our modern age. Identity. You cannot publicly state what your identity is, what your ethno-bio-regional racial heritage, what it consists of, what it contains. Rose hips are a potent bio-spiritual food for this because they've been used throughout the world, wherever human beings have been, where our people have been, wherever any people have been. These roses, these rose hips have been part of their food, part of their nourishment for the winter time, for those dark times. And it is still today, at this present time, at this present moment, these rose hips are the same. They are able to inform the body of what's going on, and they are, in terms of that, a bio-spiritual food, a BioSpirit food for the great problems that people have today in stating what their identity is. You know, the regime wants your identity to be a consumer. You're a universal consumer in a universal state. You are raceless, you are sexless, you are without any type of nation, with any type of people, without any relationship. Your only relationship for the state is as a consumer. That's a totally fallacious view, because that is not who we are, and that is not who we're going to be. And that's what BioSpirit right now is teaching us. It's teaching us to in our own way to love our ethnic, racial, bio-spiritual identity and identify it with deeply, completely. And this goes for any ethno-bio-spiritual group. It's not limited to a certain group. It's for any group. It's part of our heritage as human beings. And rose hips are part of this spiritual practice, part of these BioSpirit foods and food/medicines that we're using. So here we have an interface. We have the forest and we have the clearing, and here we have our rose hips. This is one of our bio-spiritual foods. And when I say bio-spiritual food, what I'm talking about is a remedy, a way of healing the person, the whole person, the BioSpirit. As we had the glaciation of the northern hemisphere, these plants basically dripped down along the corridors throughout the northern hemisphere, in Europe, in Asia, in North America, all these plants. These are the plants that our forefathers, that our foremothers consumed as a bio-spiritual food. And they're very thick in here, in these interfaces, because as the existentialists so correctly understood, being a human being is the condition of making choices. And at that level of choice is our existence. Here we have some other berries. We have the Oregon grape, pretty thick in here. The Mahonia, another bio-spiritual food that nourished our people with these various alkaloids that are in this plant, that are in this berry. The berberine, very nutrient for the BioSpirit. Now, one of the things to understand with illnesses, with health, the Greek Aristotle spoke of a bounded whole, which establishes existence. You cannot have existence of a person, of a place, of a thing, without differentiation, without boundaries. In the animal kingdom, we have the cell membrane. Then we have various cells divided into organ systems within the body. We have the liver, we have the kidneys, we have the skin, we have the eyes, we have the ears, we have the brain. In the vegetable kingdom, what we have are the cell wall. Then you have the various parts of the plant. You have the fruit, you have the leaves, you have the stem, you have the roots. And these are variations and differentiation within that plant that establishes it, that allows it to exist as a being. Within a human being, we have a similar differentiation. One of the most important systems for health of the BioSpirit is what people today call the immune system, which is a complex way of saying that the body is able to decide and determine what is self and what is others, what is inside, what is outside, what needs to be cultivated and what needs to be attacked and destroyed. This is what the immune system does. Many people today have immune systems which are compromised. Now, the basic compromisation, the basic element of compromise within this immune system is a fallaciousness, a falsehood that the person on a psychological level cannot determine self, cannot determine others. And most of this issue, most of this problem has to do with identity, the fundamental nature of identity, of what I am and what others are. And part of this problem has to do with the current regime, which is attempting to establish an economic zone through a group politic. And people don't understand this because our early forefathers in America, they established a basic system of individual rights. And those individual rights are no longer valid in a nation of 350 million people. The establishment of a politic, of a governance, has been through group identity. So you have Latinos can identify as a group. Blacks can identify as a group. You have gay or homosexual can identify as a group. The only group of people who cannot identify as a group are whites. And the reason for that is because the whole structure now is about wealth redistribution through a tax structure. And the only way to have input into the governance, the determination of the tax structure, the determination of wealth redistribution is through a group politic. And we are denied access to that group politic by law. Whites cannot identify as a group. It's racism. It's evil. It's Nazi. It's whatever it is. But the truth is, this is only for the purpose of this wealth redistribution. This is what is occurring now in our society. And it's what's occurring in the immune system of people in that society. They cannot determine what they are and what they are not on a cellular level. So the body is actually attacking itself because it is so confused. Rose hips are one of those remedies, one of those foods that our people throughout history have utilized in support of their BioSpirit, in support of their bodies, in support of their hearts and their minds. Rose hips are one of the most important foods, substances that we can take into our bodies to nourish BioSpirit, to reestablish the immune system, to reestablish the boundaries between self and other, so that the body can make a decision, can make a determination on what it is and what it is not. And at the present time, people cannot determine who they are because they are not allowed to identify according to their group within the group politic, which is the form of governance of 2020. So rose hips are one of the most important foods and substances that we as BioSpirit people can utilize to assist others to attain a state of health, a state of life, a state of alternative improvement in any condition, almost any condition in the body. Rose hips are so important.